Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the last RMU Live of the fall semester. Today is Thursday, November 30th. I'm Casey Irwine.
And I'm Zach Jones. Welcome to RMU Live.
Now, breaking news here at Robert Morris University. The university has just announced new named spaces on campus made possible by the multi-million-dollar gift by alumnus Russ Olson. The basement at Nicholson will now be named the Olson Family Basement, dedicated to the memory of his grandparents, Elise and Clarence. The plaque outside the basement honors them both and celebrates their lasting values. Hopwood Hall will now be named Olson Hall, and as a vital space for students at the university, it reflects Russ Olson's devotion to the academic experience at RMU.
Winter is shortly upon us, so Pittsburgh, it's time to dust off your ice skates. This past weekend, the ice skating rinks in both North and South Park officially opened for business this winter season. It kicked off on Friday with skate sessions open to the public. Lessons at the rinks were hosted on Saturday and Sunday, and as someone who's seen firsthand what lack of experience can lead to, those lessons can be very important. If the weather allows, the season will run through mid-March, but, well, the ozone layer, you know. You can get tickets for the rinks on Allegheny County's website. And the Pittsburgh Botanical Garden has started their holiday event where they will be showcasing what we all know and love them for, the very original bright lights. Hooray! Join them on their dazzling nights, a winter light experience for an adventure you won't forget. Visitors will be treated to fields of dancing lights, a canopy of glowing lanterns, and a 30-foot tall stained glass tree. This event is open now until January 1st from 5:30 until 9 each evening. More information and ticket prices can be found on their website.
2023 is finally almost over, and the lineup for Pittsburgh's first night celebration has been released. This year is the 30th anniversary, and this 6-hour New Year celebration will be taking place across a 14-block section of the Cultural District on Sunday, December 31st. Along with firework displays at 6 p.m. and midnight, there will be music, dance, theater, a parade, magic, and more. And if you still need someone for a New Year's kiss to cap the night off, a number should be on the screen somewhere. It might just be the person's next to me. I'm not sure. If you need more information, you can find it online. With Christmas being less than a month away, holiday travel is in full swing. However, all of that can come to a halt if the pilots of Southwest Airlines decide to go on strike. Kate Amara has the story.
Of the Baltimore Regional Strike Center is an unprecedented step for the Southwest Airlines Pilots Association. Union officials say pilots have been in contract talks with the airline for more than 3 years now. They want better pay, benefits, and working conditions.
So everyone that's here is a pilot. The ones in the white shirts you see behind me are here volunteering on a day off. Because they're serious about getting this contract done.
Negotiations continue this week, and the union says if nothing comes of it, the pilots are prepared to walk out and be on the picket line by December 30th.
If we were to go out on strike, no pilot would fly a Southwest airline aircraft, and that would stop all service to the company.
It's a holiday labor action that would cripple the airline and that could result in a repeat of the 2022 Southwest travel meltdown.
Got here at 6:30 this morning and sat there till 11 o'clock before they canceled it.
Some union leaders say without additional IT upgrades, manpower, and equipment, the airline could get back here all on its own.
So some of the things that our negotiating team is working towards would help make the operation more efficient and more recoverable from some of the issues we saw last year.
We reached out to Southwest, and the airline sent a statement in response, which reads in part, "Our negotiations continue this week and we'll keep working to reach an agreement that rewards our pilots and places them competitively in the industry." The statement goes on to detail numerous operational changes and upgrades the company has made in the last year.
Thank you, Kate. This comes after the chaos of last year, where the majority of Southwest flights were grounded in the U.S. due to weather and system issues.
As finals week approaches, hopefully the cold weather won't freeze our brains. Bethany, what do you got for us?
Thank you, guys. Let's take a look at our hourly forecast. At 3 p.m., it's going to be clear with a high of 46 degrees. At 6 p.m., it's going to be 42 degrees with it being clear. And at 9 p.m., it's going to be 39 degrees with it being clear. And today's forecast is going to be a high of 50 degrees with a low of 39 degrees. Humidity is going to be 60%, and chance of precipitation is going to be 8%. But make sure you just hang on because you might just blow away. And then tomorrow's forecast is going to be a high of 46 degrees with a low of 44. Humidity is going to be 74%, and chance of precipitation is going to be 72. Make sure you bring your umbrellas. And our 5-day forecast is going to be Saturday, it's going to be raining with a high of 55 with a low of 41. Sunday is going to be raining once again with a high of 54 and a low of 41. Monday is going to be raining once again with a high of 47 degrees with a low of 37. Tuesday is going to be 44 degrees with a low of 31. And Wednesday is going to be partially cloudy at it being 39 degrees with a low of 29. So there is some chance of some sun this week, but make sure you bring your umbrellas because it's going to be a real wet one. And then we're going to send it right back to the desk.
Thank you, Bethany. Now, I know there was a lot of rain on there, but I, for one, am excited to see some warmer temperatures.
Yeah, me too, but I mean, the wind though, it seemed dangerous. Our weather reporter, Bethany, almost just blew away. Hopefully she's okay. I know she just came off a devastating ankle injury, so hopefully she's all right, as well as the weather.
Yeah, true. I'm worried about my chances out there once it gets windy. Coming up next, we have new information coming out on how to avoid being scammed during the holiday season and the death of a beloved First Lady. Stay tuned here on RMU Live.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways.
You told me not to touch the stove. You told me not to do drugs. You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe. Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun?
Welcome back to RMU Live. In Vermont, 3 Palestinian college students have been shot. This comes with an uprise in anti-Palestinian attacks from the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. Gloria Pazmino has the story.
The suspected shooter was off the streets in less than 24 hours, and that we were able to announce the arrest of Jason Eaton just after midnight last night.
Fear turning to a sigh of relief in this Vermont community days after the arrest of a suspect in a shocking crime.
The Saturday evening shooting of 3 young Palestinian college students visiting Burlington on their holiday break was one of the most shocking and disturbing events in this city's history.
48-year-old Jason Eaton appeared in court Monday. He pleaded not guilty to 3 counts of attempted murder in the 2nd degree and is being held without bail. Police say Hisham Awartani, Kenan Abdulhamid, and Tassin Al-Famad were walking along a Burlington street Saturday night. 2 of the students were wearing traditional Palestinian scarves called keffiyehs and were speaking a mix of Arabic and English.
The young men were interviewed by detectives. They stated that the person had not made any comments to them and had merely approached them while they were walking down the street, essentially minding their own business.
All 3 of the students are hospitalized, one with a spinal injury. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Vermont and the Department of Justice are investigating whether the shooting may have been a hate crime.
The ATF and the FBI are investigating the tragic shooting of 3 men of Palestinian descent in Vermont. That investigation, including whether this is a hate crime, is ongoing.
Reporting in New York, I'm Gloria Pasmino.
Thank you, Gloria. It has been revealed that one of the 3 college students that was shot has suffered a spinal injury from a bullet that directly hit his spine. The student may never walk again. A 15-year-old boy was charged with first-degree murder for the death of a homeless man in a borough outside Philadelphia. Last Wednesday, Pottstown teen Thomas James Nearhouse fatally shot 39-year-old Jeremiah Hawkins after reportedly seeking out the victim. The two argued before Nearhouse pulled a gun and Hawkins swung a tire at the boy before being shot twice, once in the head. Bystanders detained the teen from leaving while authorities arrived and arrested him. Nearhouse is being charged as an adult with 1 count of first-degree murder, third-degree murder, carrying a firearm without a license, possession of a firearm by a minor, and possession of a weapon. The preliminary hearing is set for later today, November 30th. I hope you cherished your Thanksgiving this year because these Pennsylvania State Police were denied theirs, chasing 32-year-old Brittany Goodwine, who led them on a 45-mile chase on Thanksgiving Day. After attempting to stop Goodwine for a traffic violation in Mercer County, the police were dragged on a wild goose chase along Interstate 79, taking her into custody. She reportedly rode on bare rims and a very high rate of speed for miles until Goodwine's vehicle became disabled near the Wexford exit. She is now being charged with a DUI as well as eluding the police.
A woman died after being hit by a UPMC shuttle bus while crossing the street in Oakland. Yesterday morning, first responders were called to the scene at the intersection of Terrace Street and Sutherland Drive and found the woman unconscious and in cardiac arrest. She was taken to the hospital in critical condition and was later pronounced dead. The investigation is still ongoing, but sources say the woman was an employee of UPMC. The accident is not the first in Oakland's history, with another tragic bus accident killing Pitt student Barbara Como just 2 years ago. And federal officials are investigating a cyber attack on the Municipal Water Authority of Aliquippa. General Manager Robert Bible said that hackers targeted a device in a small Moon Township substation that controls water levels at the authority's tanks this past weekend. The group of hackers left behind a message proclaiming themselves as the Cyber Avengers, an Iranian group that intends to target equipment made by Israel. The device that they disabled was indeed from an Israeli company. Representative Chris DeLuzio is in touch with local officials and has stated he intends to push for a full investigation. Fortunately, no customers of the Municipal Water Authority lost service during the attack. And in news of cyber attacks, holiday scams are underway. Cole Higgins has the story on how you can avoid being scammed.
The holiday shopping season is in full swing, and those websites hosting online sales are also a hotspot for scammers.
Unfortunately, scammers follow us around like legitimate marketers do.
The Better Business Bureau says scammers are working overtime to rip off eager consumers, and it's getting harder and harder for consumers to spot those scams.
If you think about the way people online shop, most of the time they're on a device. They're not on a laptop or a desktop computer where they might have a better visual field of some of those red flags when it comes to a fake website.
The National Retail Federation is forecasting that online and non-store sales will climb as high as 9% this year, and scammers are taking advantage of that growing trend. The BBB has these 5 tips to help you avoid becoming a victim. Number 1, research before clicking buy. Google the company name with the word scam, reviews, and complaints to see what other customers are saying.
Usually starts with, I saw an ad for XYZ, and then they have no confirmation of a purchase.
Which brings us to number 2, buy from legit websites. The BBB says scammers often mimic the URL of a popular retailer to get you to buy counterfeit or fake items. 3, don't be fooled by fake goods on social media.
We've also seen some influencers have their videos hijacked by scammers trying to sell the product on a fake website.
4, don't click on links from random texts or emails. And finally, the BBB says if the sale or promotion seems too good to be true, it probably is. For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.
Thank you, Cole. Some consumer companies are also warning people to avoid using Facebook Marketplace and the TikTok Shop. This is all likely due to customers getting counterfeit items and never getting the item they purchased.
Yeah, you know, Zach, I almost lost my social security number buying headphones on Cyber Monday, so all good advice to take. Up next, though, we learn about the life and legacy of former First Lady Rosalind Carter and what exciting events are coming to RMU. There's also some breaking news regarding RMU football you won't want to miss, only here on RMU Live.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home.
Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Welcome back to RMU Live. Today starts the United Nations Conference of the Parties with a focus on climate change, and United States President Joe Biden will be skipping it. Taking place in Dubai, this gathering of world leaders is part of a push by dozens of countries for the world's first deal to phase out CO2 emitting coal, oil, and gas. However, Biden was reported to be unlikely to attend the meeting known as COP28 as he balances demands of a Middle East war and his presidential campaign. The president's schedule for Thursday, released by the White House, shows him hosting a meeting with the president of Angola and attending the national tree lighting. And Rosalind Carter, the wife of former U.S. President and currently the oldest living president, Jimmy Carter, has died. Ivan Rodriguez has the story.
Loved ones bidding a final farewell to Rosalind Carter Wednesday.
Rosalind went to almost every corner of the world and met with people from all walks of life.
After a moving tribute brought leaders and luminaries together on Tuesday to celebrate the remarkable trail she blazed over 96 years.
My grandmother doesn't need a eulogy. Her life was a sermon.
From Georgia to the White House and around the world.
She was made for these long journeys, and she was made to summit these mountains.
Hand in hand with former President Jimmy Carter, the pair dedicated themselves to service for nearly 8 decades.
Their partnership and love story was a defining feature of her life.
Though her chapter in the White House was but one brief episode in a long and storied life, her impact on the office forever transformed the role of the First Lady.
She served our country as one of its most activist and accomplished First Ladies.
And put her on a path to do extraordinary things.
She shaped our national policies. She faced down dictators herself on issues of human rights.
Together, the Carters redefined life after the presidency, caring for the most vulnerable, sheltering those in need, and fighting for peace and justice.
Rosalind's compassion and empathy for those who are suffering was boundless.
Visiting more than 120 countries throughout her decades of service, Rosalind Carter has now come home to her final resting place. But the legacy she built will carry on. In Plains, Georgia, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Thank you, Ivan. Carter is survived by her husband, Jimmy Carter, and her children and her grandchildren. Our condolences are given to the family.
The holiday season is in full swing, and with family gatherings comes travel and cold weather. Getting sick is bound to be the norm. Mandy Gaither has a story about how you can protect you and your family from becoming ill.
Across the U.S., flu, COVID-19, and RSV are spreading.
It is that time of year, and we know that all of the respiratory viral illnesses are starting to ramp up.
Flu cases are rising across most of the country, especially in Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, and South Carolina. While outpatient visits for flu-like illnesses are lower than this time last year, they're still higher than the previous 4 seasons. COVID-19 hospital admissions and emergency department visits are also on the rise again after a few weeks of decline.
I was in the hospital on call this holiday weekend, And I'm certainly starting to see more people being hospitalized, mainly with COVID.
Dr. Kristen England with Cleveland Clinic says it's not too late to protect you and your family through vaccination. More than a third of adults and children have gotten a flu shot this year. When it comes to the new COVID-19 vaccine, nearly 16% of adults and just over 6% of children have gotten it, and nearly 15% of adults ages 60 and up have gotten the new RSV vaccine.
Vaccinations will always be the key way to prevent the transmission of any of these respiratory viral illnesses.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Thank you, Mandy. You can schedule for a vaccine at Giant Eagle, CVS, and Rite Aid, and if you still haven't gotten your flu shot and COVID-19 vaccines.
And RMU has many holiday events coming up in the next week. Stay tuned to hear all about the festivities and what is going to happen to RMU football here on RMU Live.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
We have this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Welcome back to RMU Live. For the first time this semester, we have our sports reporter, Colby Sherwin, in studio. Colby, how are the RMU teams looking?
Thanks, guys. Over Thanksgiving break, the men's basketball team hosted the Urban Bennett Memorial Classic. And on Friday, they hosted Jacksonville. Now, I can tell you about the game, but there was a massive fight as 4 guys received technical fouls and were thrown out of the game. The Dolphins won 65-74. Then on Sunday, the Colonials hosted the Cinderella team of March Madness last year. Fairleigh Dickinson, the Colonials won the game with a great shooting in the second half at 56%. With a 34 points and 7 threes, Josh Corbin scored 34 points in the game. On the same day as the brawl, the women's team took the trip to Lewisburg as they took on the Bucknell Bison. They stampeded the Colonials as they won 64-44. In the loss, Simone Moore scored a nice 13 points. Finally, the football team ended their season with a loss to Eastern Tennessee State. Zach Tanner went 32 for 17 with 150 yards and a touchdown. RMU announced they will be moving conferences and returning to the NEC, a very interesting move that you'll hear about a little bit later. Moving downtown last week, Steelers fans were thankful that Matt Canada was fired. This marks the first time Mike Tomlin has ever fired a coordinator, and the last time the Steelers fired somebody in season was 1941, when then team owner Bert Bell fired himself. Bob Nutting can learn a thing or two. Moving on to the game, the Steelers took the trip to Cincinnati as he took on AFC North foe Bengals. They were out with quarterback Joe Burrow. Going into the game, the question was, would this be the first time the Steelers outgained an opponent since 2018 against the Saints, when the quarterback those days were Drew Brees and Ben Roethlisberger? Kenny Pickett went 24 for 33 and 278 yards. If you were still searching for Pat Freiermuth, you can stop, as he had 9 catches for 120 yards. And the Steelers won 16-10, But the victory did not come without some controversy, as during a fumble, Steelers receiver Deontay Johnson, who should be used to seeing footballs on the ground as he drops them a lot, walked away from the pile and didn't see the ball, leading to a turnover. Heading to the ice, the Penguins were in Nashville on Tuesday as they took on the struggling Predators. Nashville got 2 goals quickly by Mecca McCroon both times, but then in the second, the Pens got both back from Gino Malkin and Brian Russ. Tristan Jarry played a good game as he had made 23 out of 25 saves, but in overtime, Philip Forsberg had a free lane, and he's not the guy you want on the Preds to do that, as he sniped one top shelf to win the game. The play did come with some controversy as Ryan O'Reilly ran into Sidney Crosby, which led to the goal. That's all for me. Let's send it back to the desk.
Thank you, Colby. A lot in sports this week. Good to see Colby Sherwin in studio. I'm glad I get to see that guy. I mean, look at him. I mean, how can you not?
Absolutely. I mean, he killed it up there. How could you not have him in studio every single week?
And hear him talk about Kenny Pickett. It's just unbelievable stuff coming here on RMU Live.
So passionate.
It's insane. Folks, the rivalry is back. RMU is rejoining the Northeast Conference beginning next year, and with that, the Colonials will face off against old foe, the Duquesne Dukes. Robert Morris has been a part of the NEC for 23 years before leaving in 2019, and after 1 year of independence and 2 years of Big South play, the Colonials look to relight the flames of old rivalries. Coach Bernard Clark said RMU appreciated the opportunity from the Big South, and the program looks forward to embracing the familiar foes of the NEC. RMU's 2 years in the Big South culminated in a 2-9 conference record. I'm singing, I'm in a store and I'm singing, I'm in a store and I'm singing. If you didn't know, that was from the classic Christmas movie Elf. And if you would like to see that song and more, then get ready to see RMU Theater's production of Elf the Musical. Based on the beloved holiday film, this hilarious fish-out-of-water comedy follows Buddy the Elf in his quest to find his true identity. This event is located at Massey Theater on Robert Morris campus, and opening night is tonight at 7:30. There's a show every day through Sunday, so make sure to secure your tickets online before it's sold out.
Donating toys to charity? Now that's a purr sleigh if I've ever heard one. On Tuesday, December 5th, stop by the Nicholson Basement for the RMU Public Relations Student Society of America's Purr Sleigh Toy Drive. From 6 to 9, you can bring in a toy or a donation for Pittsburgh-based charity Batch of Toys, which gives Christmas gifts to kids in need. Food, prizes, and Christmas activities will be available for all who attend, as well as a set credit. And finals week is coming up, and you might just feel like you are in a jam. You might be glazed and confused. You might be fed up with the whole college business. Maybe you feel like you do not want to do this anymore. Do not worry. Black Student Union is here to make the week much sweeter. Come to the basement next Wednesday at 10 a.m. and join BSA for some free donuts in an event called Donut Stress. Bring some friends down and just relax, so you can all donut feel so crummy. Mark your calendar because you do not want to glaze over this event.
Call me the antagonist from the Hunchbacks of Notre Dame because I am burnt out. Luckily, RMU's active minds and positive advocates have just what I need with dogs. On December 7th from 3 to 5, you can stop by the basement and recuperate before finals with a bunch of furry friends. Feel free to pet all of them. As a precaution, you may not want to bring any young children because we all know they bite. The children, that is. You can RSVP on revolution.rmu.edu or just show up, and even if you can't make it, that's okay. The guy next to me will be more than glad to bark for you. Thank you for watching RMU Live. I'm Casey Irwin.
And I'm Zach Jones.